Hey there guys. In this video we're going to start our Unit 4 lessons, taking a look at the first lesson on polynomial sums. This is stuff that we have covered together in class, so this should be a good review for you. So looking at the objective, we're looking at practicing finding the sums of two polynomials. And so if we're looking at how they have the review for us, looking at how to add polynomials, we want to write the problem to show each polynomial is a sum of terms, and then remove the parentheses and group like terms, and then add those terms. So if we look at the example that they have, and they line these up different than what we did in class. In class we did horizontal, and with this review and what they showed you in the tutorial, if you went through and did that, they have you doing them vertically, which I think is fine. So I'm going to be trying it vertically and see how that goes. And that way you have another way to solve these. All right, so if we take a look at, there's two big main different types of problems that they have for these. The first type is this type right here, where you've got the terms have different variables, or they have no variables at all. So the big deal with these is we're looking to combine like terms. So when we're looking for our like term, what makes a term be alike is the fact that it has the same variable and like the same type of variable with the same exact exponent. Exponents aren't going to come into play with this first type, but they will with the second type. So if I look right here, I've got negative 7n. So if I'm looking for a term that is a like term with that variable, I would have to find another term that has an n with it. So there we go. There's 4n. So those two are considered like terms. So then if I'm looking at the, I believe it's a negative 4c. Yeah. Looking at that negative 4c, I would be wanting to find another term that had a c with it. So 8c. 8 has a c with it. So I would match those two terms up. And then there isn't a term to go with the constant or the number 3. So I'm just going to leave it out by itself whenever I write it vertically. So I'm going to start with the first one that they write, and that one's always going to go on top. So I'm going to have negative 7n minus 4c, and then I'm going to add up the like terms from the second one. So I'm looking at this one, plus I'm going to add 4n plus 8c minus 3. So then I'm looking to go negative 7 plus 4, and I'm adding it vertically, kind of like we would add like 740 if we just pulled out the numbers, plus 480, and then a negative 3. So we're kind of looking to add things like this. So I have a negative 7 plus 4 is going to give us a negative 3n, and then a negative 4 plus 8c is going to give us a positive 4c. And then I don't have a constant here, and if it makes you feel better and helps you see things better, put a plus 0 there. So I'm going to have 0 plus a negative 3, which is going to give us a negative 3. So if I go through and I type that in, I've got, let me scroll up. Nope. So I've got negative 3n plus 4c minus 3. There we go. There's how those work. All right, so if we take a look at another one. Same idea, different letters, but we're still matching up things that are alike. So I'm still going to write the polynomial that comes first, this polynomial right here. I'm still going to write it on top. So negative 7s plus 8b plus 6. And on the bottom, we're going to be doing plus 5s plus a negative 3b, And then I don't have a constant here to match up with that one, so it's going to be a plus 0. So I've got a negative 7s plus 5s is going to be a negative 2s. And then 8 plus a negative 3 is going to give me a positive 5b. And then 6 plus 0 is going to give us a plus 6. So our answer for this one is going to be negative 2s plus 5b plus 6. And then they're going to kind of change it up on you. They're going to give you problems where you have all of the same variable in the problem, but they're not going to be all like terms, because then you have to focus on the exponents. So looking at here, we have s to the third, and there we have s to the third. So the negative 7s to the third and the 2s to the third, those are going to be considered like terms, because focusing on the variable, they have the same variable that has the same exact exponent. So then I've got my minus 9s squared matches up with my plus 2s squared. And then looking at the numbers that do not have variables or are constants, I have one of each of those, so those are going to match up together. So I'm still going to go through the same process that I was doing for the other problems that we were doing. Whatever comes first is what gets written on top for adding. So I've got negative 7s to the third minus 9s squared plus 6 plus 2s cubed plus 2s squared minus 8. Now notice whenever I set this up, I'm making sure that I've got my s to the thirds over s to the third, and then my s squareds matched up with my s squareds, and constants matched up with constants. And so now I'm going to be adding those things together. So if we do that, we're looking at negative 7 plus 2. So a negative 7 plus 2 is going to give us a negative 5. And then we need to bring down that s to the third with it. That's our like term, so it just comes down with it. And then we've got negative 9 plus 2 is going to give us a negative 7s squared. And then a positive 6 minus 8 is going to be a minus 2. So then if we're looking to type that in, we're going to end up with negative 5s to the third. And I'm going to hit the over button so that it gets it out of the exponent. Minus 7s squared, minus 7s to the squared. And then minus 2. And there we go. There's how those work. So I'll do another one with you. Make sure you've got it. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video real quick and work that one out on your own and see if you can get it right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work through this one with you. I'm looking at my like terms. My minus 6s to the third is going to match up with my 9s. Minus 6x is going to match up with my minus 2s. And my minus 7 is going to match up with my plus 3. So minus 6s to the third minus 6s minus 7. And then plus 9s to the third minus 2s plus 3. So these are going to stay the same. They're just going to come down, and it's going to be s to the third, and then we combine the terms as we need to. So negative 6 plus 9 is a positive 3s to the third. Negative 6 plus negative 2 is going to give us a negative 8s. And then negative 7 plus 3 is going to give us a negative 4. So there's the answer for that one. And then they could start giving you problems where you don't necessarily have all of the terms to match up. And for those, you use the placeholders just like we were using before. So my negative 5 is going to match up with my 7y to the third, and my minus 7y is going to match up with my plus 8y, and then there isn't any other constants over here in this one to match up, so I'll do a plus 0 here. So minus 5y cubed minus 7y minus 7 plus 7y cubed plus 8y plus 0. Just to remind myself that I've looked, there's nothing there. So negative 5 plus 7 is going to be 2y cubed. Negative 7 plus 8y is just going to be a plus 1y, or just plus y minus 7. There's the answer for that one. Okay. So, and then those problems, they continue to be the same. Just be careful with your positive and the negatives. And if you're a person that usually makes mistakes with those, just make sure you're typing it in the calculator so you don't have to worry about those. So that'll wrap up our review on polynomial sums. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me or pop in during my office hours. Take care, guys.